Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So finally we have details for Battlegrounds Season 3. And let's break it down. There is actually more changing than many people realize. So it's going to start on November 21st, which is going to be Monday. It's going to last for 4 weeks as always. We're going to have 4 different metas. So we have an update on cheaters, and apparently over 2,500 summoner accounts were taken action upon. This includes account bans, zeroing Battlegrounds rating, and removal of points of both solo and alliance Battlegrounds events. Well, let's hope they keep at it and do much more of it. Now, let's take a look at matchmaking changes. Also, they are adjusting matchmaking algorithm by the looks of it shortly after season starts. And they're going to take prestige less into consideration or something like that. So we're going to see how the new matchmaking algorithm works out. But relics are here. Updates to Battlegrounds rewards now include relics, but where can you get the juicy relic-related rewards? We're going to start with Trophy Token Store, where you can buy 3-star, 4-star, and 5-star relic shards. Now, Paragons only have access to 5-star ones, as in like only Paragons have access to 5-star ones. And you can also get tier 1 and 2 basic and class alloys, as well as tier 3 class alloys. So this is probably going to be quite a substantial drain on trophy tokens. And yeah, you can only get 175 5-star relic shards for... That seems like a really high amount. And well, we'll see. We'll see how much do we need for a crystal. So I'm not going to comment on the relic economy yet, because there are quite a lot of things up in the air. But they are adding relics to Trophy Token Store. But out of the bat, it really does seem like the 5-star relic shards are significantly overpriced compared to rest of the stuff. Let's look at this. There are also relic shards. Special. What the? 175 relic shards for 2,250. So you can buy like 375. And then they're giving away like, what is it? 5,000, 7,000, 8,000 5-star relic shards just in victory track. That pricing makes no sense. But whatever. They are adding relic shards in victory track now. So this is going to be something that pretty much everybody can go and grab. As well as there are still elder marks and the trophy tokens. Also, Gladiator Circuit rewards have been updated. As you can notice, the trophy tokens are basically the same, or exactly the same. But now there are 6-star relic shards for the very top. For top 100, basically gets 2,000. And obviously, the higher you place, the more you get, the lower you place, the less you get. Also, you get tier 1 celestial alloys, tier 2 class alloys, tier 3 basic alloys, and tier 2 basic alloys based on where you place. But as long as you get to top 10, I think it's pretty much exactly the same, or top 100, there's not much difference or movement there. But again, all that relic stuff being put aside for now, because I do not have quite a clear grasp of the relic economy to comment on it. Let's go over the most important thing, and that is going to be the metas, the buffs. So let's start with the victory track meta. So this is going to be meta that we have to play entire month, where all the tournaments are going to be conducted in, and all the friendlies, and so on and so forth. The first one is Fury. When struck by a defender, has a 10% chance to trigger a Fury buff for 8 seconds. Fair enough, that's not a particularly annoying note. Float like a butterfly. The defender's Fury effects are indefinitely paused. They unpause for 8 seconds when the attacker dodges or evades an attack. Now, this is quite an interesting note that I think we have seen quite recently with the addition of Elder difficulty. And there could potentially be some interesting character interactions with this one. And then we have whichever champion has more unique buffs gains 6% of a bar of power every second. So it's rich get richer too. And that is going to be the meta. So buff heavy champions as defenders and mystic champions probably as attackers primarily for this one. And let's move on to Gladiator Circuit. So Gladiator Circuit week 1 meta is pretty much, the initial nodes are exactly the same, but Rich Get Richer has double the potency in Gladiator Circuit. So that's going to be a lot more power gain. And also we have Fair is Fair, where whenever one of the defender's buffs is nullified, the attacker is power locked for 4 seconds. Armor break debuffs nullify armor buffs for all intents and purposes. So this is definitely going to be quite conundrum in some matchups to deal with. It's going to be interesting to see how the meta is going to shape out for week 1. Let's move on to week 2 meta. And we have Reinvigorated Unblockable. Every time a regeneration buff or a passive is activated, if the defender is not under a heal block effect, they gain a dormant vigor charge. Once the defender reaches 10 vigor charges, they're consumed, and the defender gains a passive unblockable for 7 seconds. This is going to be quite an interesting one. In addition to that, we have Masochism over time. Whenever the defender is inflicted with a debuff, it is immediately purified, and the defender gains a regeneration buff, granting 15% of their max health over 7 seconds. This ability has a 7-second cooldown. And then we have healing and regeneration abilities recover 150% more health. So this is going to be quite an interesting meta. I actually quite like the sound of it. We're probably going to have a few champions like Miles Morales that can, do some weird, cheesy things here, potentially. We'll see about that. Week 3 is kind of fairly straightforward meta. We have Ebb and Flow Intercept. The defender has protection, reducing all incoming damage by 60%. Intercepting the defender removes the protection and grants the attacker a Fury passive, increasing the attack rating by 40%. When the Fury expires, all debuffs on the defender are purified. And on top of that, we will have Redoubled Determination, where for each debuff, defender gains 50% attack rating and 15% combat power rate. Bleed, Poison, Armor Break debuffs count twice. So obviously there will be some very interesting combinations with these nodes. Ebb and Flow kind of helps to mitigate that, because otherwise we would have Immortal Abomination and Kingpin going absolutely berserk in this meta. So it's going to, again, to be quite interesting to see this one go, but by the looks of it, this is going to be a nuke meta. By the looks of it, week 3 is just going to be, your hit monkeys and CGRs and whatnot. Maybe not with the double determination, but it's definitely going to be like a nuke meta for the most part. And week 4. And week 4 again is quite the scary one. I'm not going to lie, this week 4 meta does sound very nasty. Because we have Encroaching Root. And I don't know about you all, I absolutely hate Root. Absolutely hate Root. Anyways, every 12 seconds, the attacker is rooted for 4 seconds. And that's it. There's no way to pause the timer and stuff like that. We do have the standard rooted champions cannot move, but still can attack, block, dodge. Activating a special attack removes root and prevents it from applying. But typically with the root nodes, we have a condition, every 12 seconds, you're rooted, but this timer is reset if you strike the opponent, or then you get rooted if you are far away from the opponent or something like that. But this is just going to happen. So this is going to happen every 12 seconds for 4 seconds. And then on top of that, we have Kinetic Transference. Blocked attacks cause the defender to gain 7.5% power. If blocked attack dealt 0 damage, the amount of power gained is doubled. So this sounds really nasty. It really does. Because, yeah, every fight you're going to get rooted. And that can obviously mess you up quite badly. Well, I guess on the bright side, all of us are going to get better at playing rooted or dealing with root, I suppose. But it does sound quite annoying. Right. And also, since it's week 4 meta, that is the meta everybody should be focusing on, thinking of strategies for it, so on and so forth. And this time around, it's kind of hard. Which champions will be good for it, right? Well, we'll see about that, but definitely going to be quite interesting. Right. Let me know what you guys think about changes. As I said, the relic stuff. Well, the one thing that I definitely notice is that the 5-star relics in the store seem vastly overpriced. So you can buy like what, 350 for 525 shards for like 6,000. That's a lot. That's a lot of tokens, but we'll see. Obviously, Victory Track is going to provide some decent source of that. Again, we need to see how many catalysts we need, how many shards we need for crystals, and all that other stuff. And I'm really not overly sold or keen on relics, so I don't know. Initial meta and tournament meta, again, with Rich Get Richer, can be quite interesting to see what happens with that one. You can obviously see champs like Longshot, Black Widow Clairvoyant, and Dr. Dooms and stuff like that being quite popular. Either way, let me know what you guys think, and I'm gonna catch you guys later. See ya. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the next